I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Let's go. Man, I'm glad y'all will be able to be patient with me, man. Had a lot of stuff going on this morning, man. Don't let that stuff bother you. This is like once in a while type occurrence where it's like vibes and stuff live Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.-ish. Ran way over because Chuck Allen wanted to come for my jugular on a topic that we all like. And then plus I had to run errands in between shows. Not to mention your man's is running wild on like 42 minutes of sleep. I love y'all. And let me tell you this. And I say it often, and I say it because I mean it. Man, I love y'all. I do this thing not because I want to see how many people can come rock with me. That ain't why I do it. I do it because I enjoy y'all company. And I know that's simple and plain, and people might call me a simp for saying that, but it's real. You're a simp, Uncle Freezy, telling people that you love them and you enjoy their company. Nah, it's because I love y'all and I do enjoy y'all company. So whatever, call me what you want. But I love rocking with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all, some people are like, man, how a total stranger gonna say something about them, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man. I'm not talking street talk. I'm talking that talk, you know what I'm saying, from that heart talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be slick with the words and trying to like send out subliminal messages and none of that stuff. I really enjoy rocking with y'all. And I hope y'all kind of enjoy, you know what I'm saying, having it be the same way, reciprocating that. Right? Let me quote and try not to misquote the great American poet Grand Poobah when I say, now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books of rhyme, concepts, and hooks. Stressing and stressing to get thoughts manifested. Did I just do it? Stressing and stressing. I think I did just misquote Grand Poobah. And I tried not to. God dog it. Let me just look it up. Don't let it go. Let me just get it. Let me just do it the right way. Yeah. So let me quote the great American poet Grand Poobah when he said, now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books of rhyme, concepts, and hooks. Session to session to get thoughts manifested. Stressing and stressing to hit the world with a blessing. Bim! There we go. Bim! All right. Let me do this too. Yo, my man worked on something. It's fire. I want to share it with y'all. Man. This is from our homeboy, Aussie Creative. This is part of the Lawrence Tears family. Check this out. This is from the Lawrence Tears family. This is what Lawrence Tears members do, y'all. Check this out. I'm going to get to Randle. Trust me, I'm going to get to Julius Randle. I'm going to get to Tibbs. I'm going to get to RJ. And y'all might not like it. Y'all might not like what I'm about to say about RJ Barrett. But here we go.
I had it all. Everything I ever wanted in this life. The car I wanted. I had the career I wanted. I had the girl of my dreams. The soulmate. And now it has all been taken away from me. And I cannot remember what happened to my life. I don't even remember who I am.
Fire. This is what the Lawrence Tears family do, y'all. That's what the Lawrence Tears family do. Right? That's fire. Y'all not going to get this from other, Knicks content creator families. Around here, we do fire stuff like this.
Yeah. Shorty, let me holler at you. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood. From first eye contact, I knew I had to have that. Had a feeling you were something special. Didn't know if I could match that. You draw a crowd just to say hi. You make it happen, you stay fly. You big and everyone know. If I was a stock, you would raise mine. Even with a t-shirt and sweats on. Girl, you work it for me. Don't matter what they say about you. Baby, you're perfect. Girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood. That Dominican girl, East African queen, call you my cinnamon girl. Sweet like grandma cobbler. You were a #1 prospect. Even if you're raised in the projects, and you got the whole game on lock. Cops and robbers, they'll build an altar, you're so bomb. You shoot them down so calm. You don't be playing no games, but sexy in jerseys you throw on. I'm your soldier, I will march in line. You know it's your world. Let me hit you with that more in line. You go, girl, it's the way you walk, command attention. It's all about your vibe, your true intention. I call you good goddess. You're misunderstood, 'cause you're from the hood.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, I would love to be the one that holds you, console you in times of grief, and listen when you're trying to speak. Your smile, it brightens up the darkest moods, and looking in your eyes is like gazing at the stars and moon. Just thinking about you, damn, I can hardly move. The depths of my feelings are hard to convey, like trying to catch fish at the edge of a bay, like I'm caught in an infinite wave. Cause even when you do the simplest things,
Yo, let's get into this tip off. Yo, what's good, man? So, Knicks fans, and you are one. You are one of many. Knicks fans jump out of the window for anything. That's why the term Knicks for clicks is like a parable now. It's not just a buzz phrase. Like it used to be a buzz phrase. Knicks for clicks used to be a buzz phrase. Now it's a parable. The Knicks fan base is so thirsty for anything that we jump at everything. Right? And we do. We jump at everything. Legit a guy with a bad reputation. And listen, I'm not gonna say I didn't jump on it too, because I did. And then I remembered Carton breaking news. Get out of here. FAN Carton. We listening to really? Carton is the dude that we listening to now. Really? That's the source? And he didn't even source his stuff. He was like, yo, I have it on good such and such that such and such. Man, my source said. And we bashed Randle for 24 hours. Does Randle need bashing? Hell yeah. But not for this. Does Randle need bashing? Hell yeah. Randle need to be bashed, but not for this though. Right? I would rather you say, I just don't like Randle, than to use the press. Man, the press been our enemy forever. The press been our enemy forever. They always make up fake news. They always do that. Now, does Randle deserve to be bashed? Hell yeah. Right? I like Randle. Should Randle be in another city next year? Probably. Probably so. But for this, man, Carton, God damn it. I'm so frustrated. Listen, I'm so frustrated with myself that I fell for the okie doke. But like I legit consider myself to be a big boy. I can handle stuff. But this dude, and we jumped all over it. And three people came out and said it didn't happen. And people are like three people that actually put their name behind it. Julius Randle, his agent, and Tom Thibodeau all contest that this never happened. They put their name behind it. And we are listening to some dude named Carton with a bad journalistic reputation. His secret sauce. Not secret sauce, but secret source. Really? Man, what are we doing? Man, what are we doing here? Man, really? This guy? This guy? I would, hey, listen, I would rather Stephen A. Smith had said it. I would rather Stephen A. Smith had said it, because you know Stephen A. Smith is Knicks for clicks for days. Right? I would rather he had said. Now that I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, no, we shouldn't. No. The time was right for some clown to come out with misinformation, and he did. Does Randle deserve to be bashed by Knicks fans? Hell yeah, because he ain't playing, he ain't balling. Really, this is the guy. This is the guy that we listening to. This is the guy right here. And to be honest with you, I'm a little ashamed to be a Knicks fan right now. Like I'm not ashamed of bashing Randle because Randle deserved to be bashed. He ain't balling. He ain't balling. And he been doing some stuff that, quite frankly, is childish. That's still my man, though. I'm still riding with him. But when we mess up, man, and somebody criticize you, so what? Tighten up. But this guy, Carton, that's what we coming to the table with? A source. I'm sorry, I keep saying sauce. A source. I'm saying source. I'm pronouncing it sauce. I'm sorry. It's Jersey. Y'all just people that don't, and people internationally, that everybody watching from different parts of the country. I speak funny because I have a whole lot of Jersey mixed with some country soul. Right. So it's about 80-20. It's like 80% Jersey, 20% country. And so sometimes when I say certain words, they just sound funny. Pardon me. I'm not perfect. Right. Right. And I know I know there's a lot of people out there that are going to criticize me because they're perfect. And I'm sorry, I'm not perfect like y'all. But Carton, what? Come on, man. We got to do better. Come on, man. We got to do better. I'm going to throw this link in the chat so that me and D'Angelo can beef over Randle. Right. Right. And I even heard read an article overnight. I think it was Berman or somebody that said Randle is trying to do his James Harden out of New York City. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do the James Harden thing. Some executive that didn't put his name by it. Of course, when it's Portland or Phoenix or San Antonio, people put their name by stuff. When it's the Knicks, it's always Western Conference executive on the terms of anonymity said, man, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that. I don't care nothing about sourcing in journalism. I don't care. Listen, you want to hit me with the journalism stuff? You want to hit me with the journalism stuff? Put people names by stuff. And if they can't put their name by it, don't write it. Journalists get on my nerves with that. Man, you can't out your sources. You know, the information. Nah, man, I don't care. I don't care nothing about that. That's me, though. Some people just like juicy gossip. I'm not a gossiper, right? I don't care nothing about juicy gossip from some secret source. I don't care nothing about that. I'm cowboy style. Like, put your name by it. Meet in the middle of the street at noon. That's the way I like it.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, Freeze? How you?
Man, I'm mad at myself that I
Wow.
fell okey doke. And look, hey, so shout out to Hadouken and Sharon. He says it's funny too because these dudes think Randall saying "I want to be here" and it's not true means it's actually not true. LOL. I'm sure Randall will tell media he want to get.
I mean, I stood neutral on it yesterday. I was like, if it's true, then X, Y, and Z.
Right. I was over the edge. I ain't even gonna lie to
Or
you. I was out the window. I didn't even let the window up. I jumped through a plate of a plate glass window with no parachute from 13 stories up. That was
damn. I'm glad you're here to join us today after all that.
It's weird because after you have time to think about it, the one thing you realize is you can't take back the words that you said. You can't undo it. You can't rewrite history, but what you can do is be accountable for what you said. Like, my bad, y'all, for leading y'all down this road. You know what I'm saying? Off some stuff from a bad source. You know what I'm saying? You get bad information from a bad source and you spread the bad information, the misinformation. You know. Here's the thing. To Hadouken and Sharon's comment, that's naive as hell. What Duke said, basically is basically, hey Ray, what's good?
What's good, Ray?
Yeah. What up?
So what Duke is doing is equating my man's intentions with what was not said or what was said. What we're getting at is even if Randall does want to get traded, right? Even if he does want to get traded, even if his heart is not in New York, having somebody lie on him does not. Somebody lying on you is not the right thing to do. Period. Even if that is your intention, right? Like having somebody just flat out tell a lie, like for instance, even if Randall had been checked out since the All-Star break, right? But somebody lying on him saying that he said it when he didn't is not right. Period. Even if that was Randall's intention. Yeah, we gotta be smarter than that, man. We can't just assume everything. We can't be and fast forward all the time. Sometimes you just, or most times you have to evaluate the situation. Like, you can't just say Randall's playing bad, so of course he said it. Nah, man.
Right. Or this transpired in the fourth quarter, and it makes sense that he would say it.
Right. Because even if it looks like that, and my man didn't say it, don't say that he said it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you got to understand, that's the nature of the beast, because, you know, they have to generate stories out of nothing.
Yeah. They have to generate clicks. They have to get those clicks driven by Knicks.
Yeah. That's why I always stand put. I'm like, man, I'll see it. When I see it, I'll believe it. Because, I mean, I always say 90% of it is just blah, 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 blah. And you just got to see it and see how it plays out.
I'm going to bring in D'Angelo right quick, Ray. Hold on for a second.
Cool.
Hi guys.
What's up, boss?
Yeah, what up?
I can't. Breezy, let me tell you. Okay. This like Milk Carton over there put this thing out the other day. Seriously. I mean, and then he gets up there in that post game with his silly little trash bag smirk and just say, I'm built for you. Okay. All right. Now I got to deal with this trash bag another 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is. I hope he makes I can't stand the man. I don't want him in New York. I can't believe that was it was fake, like you said, fake news. I'm beside myself. I thought that was real. I really fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Right.
What a mess. what a mess.
Right.
When he pulled those shenanigans the other day, coming off the court, I said, no, he's done. He's definitely out of here. He gave up. He threw in the towel. I'm done with New York. But obviously not. He's built for New York. Yeah, right. Okay. Okay. You've been living that pipe dream, my friend. There you go.
Well, the thing I'm saying about the Randle thing is, I'm not saying wash away everything that you saw Randle do. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, we saw Randle do all these things, right? We saw it. We saw him do the thing. We saw in the press conference last night, all that mess, whatever.
Yeah.
We know Randle. We know. We at a point now where everybody involved is frustrated with Randle, bro. Everybody. That still don't mean that you can lie on that man, put words in his mouth.
No, of course not. But he's just going to stifle the progress of young players. Him being on this team, it'll be another monkey wrench in the Knicks' future. That's what he's going to do. I have no voice today, so I was so mad about that. I can't. It's just he's just going to. I'm telling you, he's a problem with this team. He will be.
He is.
He's going to change. Been in the league 8 years. He's going to be in with this team till he's going to be a Knick. And he thinks he's going to retire his thing right next to Clyde in the rafters. No, it ain't happening, Randall. You do everything wrong. So.
But D'Angelo, the point that Freezy's trying to make. Listen, we have more time to bash Randall if you want.
Yeah,
but the point is that if something's not true, don't use a person's name and make it valid.
You're right.
And that's anything. That's basketball. That's life. That's business. That's family. That's whatever.
Right.
So.
Right.
No, I agree.
It's a principle,
100%.
you know.
100%. I'm just down with this one. Oh my god!
It makes me think this dude is a slime ball, bro.
Yeah.
It's and the sad thing is people are using their platforms to do these type of things, and it's not right.
No, it's not right.
It's like whatever happened to ethics, man. You know what I'm saying? Things
Come on, man. Chivalry's dead, man.
Yeah. Right. And then there's nobody to hold people accountable. Right? The dude is going to say, well, my source told me and I can't out my source. How do we know this source is not Mr. Snuffleupagus?
Yeah, or Bart Simpson or something like that. That's right.
His source is the Gooch.
Yeah, the Gooch.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man.
Carton they just kept those words as unconfirmed because he's yelling out unconfirmed, so it just covers his ass. Basically,
right.
That's what he's doing. He's unconfirmed, so don't blame me when it comes down. It's not real. Okay.
So I don't know if you saw, but I did it. But how did the Knick fandom, and the content creators treat that story as a whole? Did they treat it as like, this is a story that needs to pop because it could be true and yada yada yada, or was it on the line of just like, hey, look, listen, there's an unverifiable a story that came out and we'll see how it plays out. Like, how did it play out to the fandom?
I'm not sure, man. I ain't even gonna lie to
you. Yeah, I didn't peep either. That's why I'm asking.
And it's not that I don't watch other Knicks content creators. The thing is, certain people have venom stored up for Knicks players.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Last year it was Elfrid Payton. Yeah. Right. This year is Julius Randle. Next year, I'm sure it'll be somebody. Whoever's on the at the beginning of this season, it was Evan Fournier. Right. Remember Evan Fournier? Oh, Evan Fournier gotta go. French, whatever. Now I think people will call him French Montana or whatever they call French something. Right. Yeah, and so the thing is, it ebbs and it flows, right? So it is what it is. I just, as a person, I like to treat people with respect, even if we disagree, right? Like I don't call, don't call people out of their names. I don't want to do, what I'm saying? But like D'Angelo and I probably disagree like 60% of the time, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. But D'Angelo's my man. And you can best believe when I get to the city, I am going to eat on his dime. Trust me.
Yeah, you're gonna pop.
Trust me, I am gonna do that, right? But the thing is, I always treat D'Angelo with respect, right? Like D'Angelo is my KMD brother, right?
Amen.
Like soon as he comes, hey man, hurry up and get in here. Hurry up and get in here. You know what I'm saying?
All respect.
And like same thing, the poetic, you know what I'm saying? And I'm learning rheology, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm sure over time, you know what I'm saying? You know, I can't treat rheology like I'll treat the poetic D'Angelo because I just met him. You know what I'm saying? You got it's like some cachet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but the thing is with the Randle situation, man, is this, bro, you know there's a feeding frenzy out for Randle and Tibbs right now. And for you to just throw blood in the water during a feeding frenzy only makes you look more like a slime ball if you carton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we already can't trust him anyway, but he's charismatic. And he's got a dude beside him that's like a goofball. Oh, really? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
You know, the ultimate cosigner.
Yeah.
You know, I forget my man's name.
It's basically stupid.
Every now and then, like every month or so, he'll ask like a great question. And it'll validate him being there. Oh, I earned my spot. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you know, I'm embarrassed, you know what I'm saying, as a person that respects other people's talents and things of that sort, that I fell for the okie doke. I'm embarrassed for that. I should have known. Right. And people that have watched me were like, yo, but you said you love Randle, Uncle Freezy. You did a video talking to Randle. I know. And I'm not saying that Randle does not deserve boos or blame or criticism or any of that. Because his play has been poor compared to last year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to last year, yeah, his play has been poor. And honestly, I think he has been over the top selfish with this young team. Over the top selfish. Not even a, hey, y'all young boys run a play for me. It's like, no, y'all young boys don't even deserve to touch the ball. I'm the man. Right? And I think it's that type of thing. Right? But the thing about it is, I have a soft spot, and this is just me. This is Uncle Freezy. I have a soft spot in my heart for Julius Randle, because at a time when our heart was broken because guys wouldn't come here, Julius Randle said at the beginning of free agency that he wanted to play for the Knicks. He said that day one, like, I want to play for the Knicks and I want to be an all-star with the Knicks. He said that at the beginning of free agency, like before he even signed, when all these dudes was like going in a million places. We think we getting KD. We think we getting Kyrie. Randle said he wanted to play for the Knicks. And he signed here. He had a terrible season. Well, not totally terrible. It was like bad at first and then got better as the season went along. Right? There were signs. Right? We draft OB. The dude makes the all-star team. And I'm like, listen, man. Of all the forwards we signed over the years, just out of free agency, just a random guy, this dude right here got here and he improved. And he made the all-star team. He did it in New York, the toughest place in the league to play. He did it here. So in my heart, and I'm not saying everybody should feel this way. I'm letting you know why I am a Randle supporter, right? Why I'll lay down on the chopping block for Randle. He did it here in New York. And he didn't at first, he didn't complain about the environment not being perfect. He didn't complain about the roster not being right. He didn't complain about, RJ Barrett not getting consideration for the all-rookie team. Or it is a bunch of stuff that happened during Randle's team. Like RJ Barrett didn't make the all-rookie team. A dude that averaged a dude that's not even in the league anymore made the team over RJ Barrett. Right? He didn't complain about any of that stuff. He just went out and played. The Knicks made the playoffs. They got washed by the Hawks. The roster was flawed. The coach is old school and got out coached. Randle played the worst 5 games in a row of his life. Right? He deserved criticism. This year he comes back and he played like a dog. Does he deserve criticism? Yes. Should he be traded? Probably. Is the city too much for him? Yes. Right? But don't lie on a no. Don't just flat out. Don't just like if you don't like D Poetic, don't just make up lies on D Poetic. That's soft. That's a sucker move. Right? If you don't like Rayology, you know what I'm saying? Don't just make up lies on Ray. You know what I'm saying? That's a sucker move, man. You know what I'm saying? Let him live. That's all I'm saying, man. Ray, I know you want to jump in, man. I just wanted to throw that out there. So, because people, what it is people think I'm a homer, right? And I'm not a homer for Randle. I'm a fan of what he did while he was here. There's a difference.
It's just an interpretation from, the audience and whatnot, and that's fine. People sometimes are committed to their commitment of ignorance and just sort of intellectually lazy, can't come up with a formidable, coherent argument. So it's easier to throw out these one tagline names and call you, oh, you're a rando sexual or this, that, without really giving it in-depth thought. Good morning to the chat. Good morning to you fellas, man. How y'all doing? The Randle thing. I want to offer a different perspective behind it, and this is in no way support of Carton and Robertson in what the rumor is. But was there any point in time when that rumor did come out, which was repeated over and over as a, hey, my source. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying it's my source. Because I spent all day yesterday watching a lot of Knicks content creators, and a lot of them followed suit. It's a rumor. It's not confirmed. But does Randle's behavior coming into this season, and I'm specifically talking about his behavior because say what you want about Randle, this man averages 20, 10, and 5. So there's statistical value there. But could you honestly say that there is some warrant to us thinking the absolute worst with regards to the rumor that came out? Like, was it so far-fetched to believe that with his behavior? And I'll pose it to you, D. Poetic. Was there anything in Randle's behavior thus far this season? Couldn't you honestly say, there might be some truth to that based on his behavior?
Concerning what exactly?
Concerning the rumor itself. Oh, Randle wants to demand a trade. This man, thumbs down and shut the F up and not being around teammates. And does it not warrant, or does you see the rumor and don't you sit back and think to yourself, maybe that's what validates his behavior?
Well, I mean, to answer your question, they call it a rumor mill for a reason, because it's a mill and it goes in a circle and it rotates. So I don't get caught in that. If it was true, it's completely understandable. And if it wasn't, that's okay. I'm very neutral with stuff like that, bro.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's how I felt. What does it matter if it's true or not true? Does Randle need to go? Probably, like Uncle Freeze. Does he need to be on the team? Probably not. Has he worked his way out of New York Knicks fans' graces among us? Yeah. So when I heard the rumor, it's why I said yesterday, I spent time in Bleacher Report, I spent time talking to homies and whatnot. I'm kind of like, so what? What does it honestly matter? Does it change the fact that Randle is not a fit on this team? Does it change the fact that his behavior, we can't validate this sort of behavior going into next season? Is Tibbs a better coach for it? Is his decision making better? Like, who honestly cares? Because at the end of the objective day, not your day, not my day, not Uncle Freeze's day, not the content creators or the fans, at the end of the objective day, it's not a fit. It doesn't work. Nothing changes. This rumor can be shot down, and you know what we're still going to discuss? The fact that he has statistical value and he still needs to be off the team. So what does it matter? That's how I personally feel.
But can we also understand? I'll say this real quick, Freeze. I'll kick it right to you.
Sure.
But we also have to understand too that the problems that are going on with this organization are way beyond Julius Randle. And I'm not saying that Julius Randle doesn't have his hand to play in it, but the reality of the situation is that the problems are much bigger than Julius Randle.
Without question. Without question. You can't look at this
Keep that in
team
mind.
and you can't look at this team and peg it all on Randle. You can't look at this team and peg it all on Tibbs. You can't look at this team and peg it all on the front office. Accountability is shared responsibility. I mean, that's how accountability works. And when we're talking about sports, you know, it's a top-down thing. Don't tell me, oh, this guy doesn't do this, don't do this, he doesn't do this. Tell me what he does do. You can't tell me this coach is, oh, well, this coach does it. Tell me what he does do. Tell me what the front office has done. Give me the demonstrative evidence, and I'll tell you how far this thing really goes, how flawed it is. And it always goes all the way back up to the top, even to James Dolan, who has kind of been very quiet. Shout out to him in this particular regard. Not that he's a fan favorite, but he's kept his mouth closed. He hasn't done anything egregious, or he hasn't jumped all the way out the window. He's given people space to sort of operate, but at the same time, I hold him accountable because it's like, bro, you are the owner of the team. This is your business. At the end of the day, kill all the nepotism and get qualified people in here to do the job. Period. End of story. And if they're not doing a good job, please do not be disingenuous. Again, I said it yesterday. Don't piss on us and call it rain. Come through, come honest, sit down, and you need to evaluate the talents and the qualifications and the job that's done. And if the job is piss poor, we need to figure that we need to make some change. And that's what this season has been, in my opinion.
What are you going to say, Freeze?
Ray,
Yeah,
did you just say don't be disingenuous?
Yes.
And previously, did you say whether it's right or wrong, what does it matter?
I see where you're going with this. but go ahead. I see where you're going with this.
I'm trying to follow. That's all.
Sure.
I'm just trying to follow.
No. It's nothing. I'm sorry. It's nothing sarcastic or anything. I see the angle and the hole in my argument, and to like.
No. It's not an argument. It's not an argument because I don't want to pick a side and go against you. I just want to hear what it is that you have to say. And just like the people out there watching right now, they don't want to argue with you. They want to hear what it is that you have to say, because for the most part, we think that you and D Poetic and others that come on are really, really smart, right? So we don't want to pick a side. Like I'm not just going to oppose you just because you said something, right? Just because you said something, I'm not going to oppose you. What I want to do is take in what it is that you said, and then if there is a conflict between what I'm listening to now and what I heard previously, then I'll ask the question, like, did you just say such and such when previously you said such and such? Right. So what I'm getting at is how does integrity not matter when it comes to Randle, but it does matter when it comes to everyone else? It makes it seem as if, based on what you said, that you just don't like Randle.
No, because the end product, the reason why I take the position that I do is because I'm looking at the end product. And yes, along that train of thought, yes, there is integrity. There is doing the right thing. And this rumor that was produced by Cotton and Roberts and whatnot, that too needs to be held accountable. I mean, Randle is already down, and that's he's kind of done it to himself, but you don't need to kick him while he's down. You don't really need to pile on, especially fabricate information that is just not true.
Right.
But however, now that we're done with that part, what has changed? Has your outlook on Randle changed? Has your idea of Randle change? As you said, he probably needs to be traded.
Probably.
So when you say things like that specifically, I now look back at the line of the conversation and I go, okay, well, if that's the case, what does this matter?
Okay.
And that's just me.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm speaking. Let me bring in CWC real quick. My man is in the building. CWC, what's good?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Man, everything is everything, man.
Yeah, I heard the rumors too, man. I like, man, don't believe everything you hear, man. That was garbage, man.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like I say, I like Randle when he was with the Lakers and Pelicans. I want him on the Knicks. I know how you feel about Randle too, Uncle Freezy. And so, but yo, you have to keep it real. You know what I mean? Let me say something real quick. I believe Randle or Tibbs gonna have to go, man. Cause we can't have the same thing that we have this year. Cause you know why? Is Tibbs gonna change? Is Randle gonna change?
No, I don't think so.
You know what I mean? So, and if Bert's gonna get 30 minutes next year, and Duke's gonna get 10 minutes, you know what I mean?
Right.
I don't like to see basketball game like that if our young players supposed to develop.
I say burn it. I say burn it to the ground, bro. I say burn it to the ground. I say if we can't coexist, I would love a scenario where we get Portland's 2 top 10 picks, right? I would even if it included, even if we had to do some wrangling and give up one of our first round picks. You know what I'm saying? I would, man, nothing would make me feel better than a Ben Mathurin, Johnny Davis, or a Ben Mathurin, Keegan Murray. Which Murray brother is it? Which twin is it? Is Chris Murray or?
No, it's Keegan Murray that's going to be in the draft. And Chris is his twin. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. So I would love a situation where we did something like that. And listen, I'm not bashing the kids like Shadion Sharp, and I just want to see the kids that we seen play high pressure games.
Yeah.
Right. And like in the turn, like the dudes that had a lot of responsibility in college. You know what I'm saying? Like over the weekend, I ain't gonna lie to you. So I warmed up to the Johnny Davis kid because he did a lot for his school, right? Not because somebody told me or somebody was like, sent me some secret file or nothing. When you just think about all the stuff the dude did while he was in school, right? All the responsibility he's going to have in order for him to play in the league right away. He's going to have a big workload. Now, I'm not getting away from Randle. What I'm saying is I would love a situation where we could get those 2 picks, add 2 other pieces to this young core, and rock with the young core. Right, some of them ain't gonna make it. Like last night, Jericho Sims' defense last night got me thinking. Like now, I know why they didn't offer him a standard NBA contract yet, because there is no way. Miles Plumlee, I think that's him, the blonde Plumlee brother, right? The one.
Yeah.
There is no way he should be shaking it. Why is he God Sham Ganem with the ball in front of Jericho Sims? Y'all say he did that like 3 or 4 times, right? When I saw that, I was like, if I was Sims, I just flagrant fouled him. I'm like, yo, let's just get this over with because I'm gonna foul you anyway. But let's just get down to the nitty gritty. You out there doing all these moves with the basketball, showing off your handles against our rookie center, man.
Hey, listen, Freezy. Let's be honest. It was everybody yesterday. It wasn't just Sims. It wasn't just Deuce. It wasn't just RJ. It just wasn't Julius. It was a team defensive scheme as a collective that failed. That started from the pregame on to the end of the game.
You know what?
But
Charlotte has elite athletes. Charlotte has elite athletes.
yeah,
Not at
yeah,
every
Matt
position,
Dobbins.
not at every position, but when you saw a Oubre and Miles Bridges on the floor at the same time,
And notice how that made the difference.
yeah.
Notice how that athleticism made the difference. Meanwhile, the most athletic person that we had on the floor defending what you were just talking about possibly was RJ Barrett, and I say possibly because Mitch, he's hitting the deck, and you never know if he's going to get back up. Randle is a turnstile on defense. Fournier, they put Fournier on LaMelo Ball. I was losing my mind. Burks ain't no athletic. And this is where I put it on Tiff. Look, I don't want too long with that. All I will say is that Sham God dribble and one mixtape that Miles Plumlee was putting on, he upped his value. Like some GM is sitting back like, yo, Miles got heavy like that?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I mean, question this. Tom Thibodeau opened up the game. No, my bad. Throughout the game, had Evan Fournier on LaMelo Ball.
Yo,
yeah, that was bad.
yo, Deep Poetic. When I saw that, I looked at my wife and I was like, "This gonna be a long night. I think I'm coming to bed early." Like this.
Yeah, I was looking at my dog. I was like,
yeah.
You putting Evan Fournier, and then I noticed the change. Remember the other game that we won? RJ was guarding LaMelo Ball.
RJ's defense is trash, bro.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah, I saw his defense.
Can't go that far.
Yeah.
Can't go that far. He had a bad game last night, but I can't go that far. Like, oh, he's quote unquote trash.
This is like 3 or 4 games in a row. This is like 3 or 4 games in a row.
We really don't jump out the window with that.
I'm thinking it's the reason why RJ Barrett can't play the 2 in the NBA because he won't be able to defend 2s effectively, right? It's the reason why you can't put a 3 next to RJ Barrett, because if you get a 3 that also is not uber athletic, now you have this situation. Like I'm not throwing RJ Barrett away. Y'all know I love RJ Barrett, right?
Yeah.
But I saw Miles Bridges and Kelly Oubre go by him without a move. No pump fake, no jab step, no dribble, crossover, nothing. Right. It was flat out my athletic ability versus your athletic ability. And remember the one, and so I watched the Charlotte broadcast. So they were in the top left corner, right? And Miles Bridges with a baseline to his right, went right against RJ Barrett and got to the hole. And I think he passed it out and kicked it. But whatever he did, I was like, wait a minute. So RJ has the baseline there to cut him off, right? And this is a right-handed player. And my man still went right by RJ Barrett. Now, I don't know if he was distracted or he was respecting the three-pointer too much or whatever it was. But there is no way. And I want to just tighten up some stuff on Randle real quick, but I'll just say this and finish it. Mm-hmm. Julius Randle's heart looks like it's not in the game no more. And I think, and listen, we've all been, at some point, we've all been demoralized, right? As a human being, you've been demoralized more than one time in your life. Like you got some news that shook you to your core, or you expected one thing and it turned out being something else. Yeah. So we've all been demoralized, right? I'm not saying that Julius Randle is we should give him a pass because he don't deserve one. You don't deserve a pass. What I'm saying is, I think what we as Knicks fans forget about is the human element, right? Because CWC, guess what somebody told me last night? And it was the most ridiculous shit I ever heard in my life. They was like, but if you win a championship here, it's like 10 championships anywhere else. I laughed, right? You know why? I was like, well, when we win that championship, I'll see. Right? Because you don't know that to be true. You know why? Because the last championship came 50 years ago. Most of y'all wasn't even alive. Right?
Nope.
You can't compare the Rangers holding up the Stanley Cup or the Yankees holding up the World Series trophy or the Giants holding up the Vince Lombardi trophy to what the Knicks can do. Right? Because those are different sports. Those things happened in different eras. Right? The Knicks have played through all these eras and still not have won a championship. So we don't have anything to go by. What we should do, though, is consider this. Our franchise is a circus. We need to burn it down, get rid of everybody. Everybody, man. Get rid of everybody. Start all over from scratch. Bring in new personnel. And this is part of D Poetic's thing he said about 7 to 8 weeks ago. So I'm gonna take partial credit because we were having the conversation, but it was mostly his idea. Like, man, just start this thing all over and develop it. Develop kids in the way that you want this team to be, and don't just pick guys that fit because what has happened is over the years the Knicks have picked players that fit a coach's style, and then when you fire the coach, the player is still here. And now what? Right? Phil Jackson drafted Frank Ntilikina. Phil Jackson get fired. Now what do you do with Frank? Right? So you draft a spot up shooter in Kevin Knox because you got a guy you want to eventually get a point guard that can spray the ball out, right? You fire him, and now what do you do with Knox? Right? And so we've been doing stuff instead of drafting the best basketball player.
But we've never been in a position to draft. We've never been in a position. This is what purgatory is, right? Like, you're not good enough to get into the playoffs, but you're not garbage enough to land the top tier talent that changes the trajectory of your entire franchise.
Ray, what about Donovan Mitchell? What about Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, no.
What about Michael Porter Jr.? What about Miles?
What about
Bridges?
SGA? What about,
that's what I'm saying.
No, of course. And I agree with you. We do need to tear it down. But before you tear down an entire house, when you're going to evaluate a house, you're looking at the bones and the structure of the house and what can be salvaged and what can't. You don't just dump the entire thing unless someone either died in the home or the foundation is completely just wrecked. I think there's still something here. Maybe not in the front office.
Okay, word. I was just going to ask that. What is it?
Probably RJ. You probably got something there. You probably got something there. Him and Cam Reddish. You have, I'm not saying that it's galore talent. I'm just saying you have very small pieces that, I could do something with this. But I can't do anything with Dolan. I can't do anything with Leon Rose. I can't do anything with Tibbs. I can't do anything with Randle and these stopgap vets. I can't do anything with, scouting departments who decide to fall asleep at Donovan Mitchell's workout and say, I'm going to choose Frank Ntilikina. And I really don't want to relive that. But here we are.
I'll be honest with you, Frank. I'll be honest with you. Not Dolan, but Tom Thibodeau and Julius Randle have to go. Period.
Yeah. I agree with you.
And another thing too, Ray. Don't put RJ Barrett and Cam in the same category because for all the gripes we have about RJ Barrett, he's proved more in this league than Cam has. Right or wrong?
But you're right. But is there something there with Cam? Now, you can say flat out no, but is there something there? Even if there's a smidge of potential talent, can I do something with that?
If you have to search for it, get rid of them. That's where I'm at.
Okay, and that's fair. If that's your perspective,
I like Cam Reddish, but if I can trade up from 12 to 6 to get a Johnny Davis, Keegan Murray, Ben Mathurin, I would do that right now.
Johnny Davis is better than Cam Reddish. I'm not saying he is. He is?
No, listen. What I'm saying is I'm willing to take the gamble on that guy instead of taking a gamble on a guy that hadn't proven it in the league yet.
Right. And so this
is Cam Reddish a starter?
He's not a starter, but he was drafted into an environment and into a position where he was not allowed to do all of it. Okay.
He need playing time. Cam Reddish need playing time.
Because here's my thing. if we're talking about hands-on experience doing the job, then I gotta be on the job to be able to do the job. You gotta give me an opportunity. You can't sit me in the corner and tell me I can't do something, but you're only
Obi.
going to.
Obi, listen, I hear you, Obi. I hear you. But what I'm saying is this, and I'm not trying to dominate the conversation. I just want to add. All I want to do is add more ingredients to what we're cooking up. That's all I'm doing.
I'm with you, baby. I'm
just adding more ingredients to what, because so the thing is you're asking me, would I rather have Johnny Davis or Cam Reddish? I want to ask I want to ask y'all. CWC, would you rather have Johnny Davis or Cam Reddish?
Say that again, Uncle Freezy.
Would you rather have Johnny Davis or Cam Reddish?
I don't even know who Johnny Davis is.
So you would rather have Cam Reddish then, right? That make it easy.
Well, Cam Reddish, tell you the truth, he really don't do nothing for me. 'Cause I really never seen him play, you know. So I can't really say.
So mind you, think about this, because if you keep Cam Reddish, you'll have a 22-year-old that's up for a contract extension. If you get Johnny Davis, you'll have a 20-ish-year-old. By the time he get here, he'll be like almost 21, I think, because he's a sophomore, right?
What position he play?
Shooting
what
guard.
Position he play?
Shooting guard, wing player. Even if you draft him at 6,
don't answer the question because you never seen Johnny Davis play.
No, I just asked him what position he played.
Oh, okay.
Shooting guard. No, but what, is he a sophomore?
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
Yeah. So he'll be 21-ish, right?
I think 20, but
but in that range,
yeah.
And so with Cam, he'll be coming up for his rookie extension, and that'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 for 48 or something like that, because you hadn't seen him enough.
Is that a bad thing? Is that a bad thing to have Cam Reddish on 4 for 48?
Let me answer.
Uncle Freezy, in your other video, you say Cam Reddish could be like a Paul George.
Right. But the key word was could.
Right.
You just need playing time, though, right?
So what could Johnny Davis be?
That's what I was about to
Is he
say.
going to be the greatest shooting guard ever lived? Everything that you're saying, Uncle Freezy, is completely hypothetical. If I gave Cam Reddish 30 minutes, what could he do? If I gave
90% of we say it's hypothetical.
Right. But Ray, how you say what I just said is hypothetical, and then you said if you give Cam Reddish blah blah, that also, my friend, is hypothetical.
Because I have more of a sample size and more information on Cam Reddish than I do Johnny Davis. And so I can trust what I have in a more limited sample size of, I got 20 minutes of Cam and he dropped 24 points or whatever. I could do something with that.
Did Cam Reddish impress you? Did Cam Reddish impress you in his 1 year at Duke?
Not really, but he impressed me.
Did Johnny Davis impress you in his time at Wisconsin?
Oh, he has. But you see glimpses and avenues of star potential with Cam Reddish's play, even when he got to Atlanta. And in the small amount of time, even with Trae Young out and all this different stuff, he got out there and was able to make an impact. And you saw how seamless it was for him to move with the basketball in his hands. You saw his defensive potential. You saw glimpses of things where you were like, yo, I could do something with that. I could see why pundits and professionals who, yes, do get it wrong sometimes, but I could see why they labeled him the next Paul George.
Hey, Freezy, would you
put Johnny Davis the next thing up?
Would you bet the farm on Johnny Davis being something special in the NBA, being top, Top Gun?
I want to say Top Gun.
I would say the kid is going to be really, really good.
Okay.
Right. And so we had this conversation already, and we kind of talked around it, because what happens is sometimes we get on a topic, somebody interject a question, and then the conversation of like a lava lamp. You ever see CWC? Now you watch a lava lamp, the ball drops to the thing and then it morphs into that's not really a ball. It's a butterfly, right? No, that's a cow. That's what our conversations do. And no disrespect to the conversation and how it morphs, it's just what it is. What I would say is every time we talk about what Johnny Davis can be, the topic changes, right?
Yeah.
The thing we want to say, Johnny Davis has some of the stuff that RJ Barrett has, right? And for those that don't like RJ Barrett, they'll say, well, what do we need with a smaller version of RJ Barrett? There are similarities there. Like the heart factor is there. The outside shooting question is there. The guarding of different positions sometimes look good, sometimes looks bad is there. You know what I'm saying? The team wins tough games with him. The intangible stuff is there. Now, if you're going to ask me if this dude runs a 4.2, has a 40-inch vertical, you know what I'm saying, does the shuttle in like 4.1? Nah, no, he ain't going to be that. He ain't going to be that.
If you mind, like, I just want to touch on something that I felt was a core issue last night. And guys could say, like, you know, take it one game like Parrish is going to say here. And go ahead, read his name before.
I got you. I got it. So Paris Duggar says, Paris Duggar, thank you for Paris Duggar, thank you for being an integral part of the show. For one. And so Paris Duggar, also thank you for the multiple contributions. He says, fans got to stop writing this team for every moment and every loss. The whole team was out of it. A step slow on D and energy. It happens. We got to chill. I understand that. And that happens when you have a young team. Sometimes the focus is just not there, right? And the second one is Cam Reddish or a guy who isn't going to play. No. If you get Johnny Davis, one of the guys that you already have is not going to play. I'm sorry.
And also has Cam Reddish played throughout his years as well. So anyway, I saw some real disturbing things last night that really bothered me. And it's not even about Julius Randle. I thought that was the start of it because you reward a guy for sabotaging his team a night before. Anybody that says he didn't sabotage the team the night before, you guys got rose-colored glasses on. Seriously. And I'm not even going to go back and forth with you. But that's fine. You want to bring them. You have an agenda. That's fine. That's okay. Can somebody explain to me why Alec Burke played almost 41 minutes last night?
You're right.
He played what, 40 minutes?
41.
41 minutes.
Wow. Hey, D, that's what I'm talking about, D. Now what do you think going to happen next year? What do you think going to happen next year? How the world this guy played 41 minutes?
Next year he's gonna play 39 because Derrick Rose will be back.
And Derrick gonna play 32 and then be out after 10 games.
How many minutes did McBride play?
Well, McBride only played 9. Toppin only played 12. Manuel Quickly played 24, and Jericho Sims played 11.
Toppin 12 minutes. That's crazy.
Now, I thought Mitchell was very solid yesterday. His pick and roll coverage was very good. He was like the only one actually running the coverage well yesterday. Yeah. And so I have no problem with his 34 minutes. I would love for them to use him more offensively, which is the battle cry that's been like that throughout the whole season. But here's my point. My point is that as Freezy wants to burn it down to the ground, I also want to blow it up, but I do want to keep remnants of certain things and build with them because I think they're good for culture, which is fine. He could say that, I could say that's fine, and somebody else is going to say something else is great. But the problem is that I don't think none of that is going to come to fruition at all. And I think that this is pretty much going to be the same team next year. We can have the discussion about do you think Mitchell Robinson is going to come back to this? I personally don't think he will.
He's not coming back. He's
personally
not coming back.
So you got to think about Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely. I feel that too.
He's not coming back.
Yeah, if it's the same, If it's the same structure, if it's the same coaching staff, it's just the same. I don't see it. So it was deflating yesterday because it doesn't look. We're mathematically out of this. I don't care if the mathematics say that it's going to take this game to do it. Mathematically, we're out.
We've been done.
So why are we continuing this? And because there's obviously an agenda in place, and we're outside of the agenda. All the things that we gripe about, we talk about, and things that we want to see and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think don't hold your breath. It's not going to come to fruition because Julius Randle will be back next year. Tom Thibodeau will be back next year. The front office will be back next year. We will have 11 to 12 pick. You guys can pick your strawberries and cherries and decide what you want from that. And it's pretty much going to look like this. So the question that I have is that if we have does anybody disagree that it is probably going to look like this next year before I continue?
No, I agree with you.
Exactly the same.
I think they might get a point guard though.
I don't believe anything this front office is going to do.
I don't know. There's too many questions and not enough answers.
And you know what, D? We need a defensive player too, man.
Yeah, we could use a couple.
But to your point, I have no idea what to expect. Like, this literally is a big ass question mark all across the board in every category, top down. So I don't even know how to answer that question. That's just me. I don't know.
Okay.
I think look, you got 48 probably going to be back. You're going to have Randall back. You're going to have Burks back. I don't know about the Noel situation. Who knows about that? So,
Freeze, what do you think?
Noel gets a mulligan. The only person I know I feel like with certainty is gone is Kemba. I think they're gonna get Kemba out of here. That's the only person though.
Roll him in a wheelchair at the traffic.
Oh, so you see a running back the same, pretty much, except for the draft pick and maybe your free agent or two.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, Freezy, you said something earlier. I was in the middle of something, but you said something. He seems demoralized, Randall.
Right.
Now, with the 117 million, I would get over it real quick. Demoralized. I mean, this guy would have to go. He's not the kind of guy who says, I gotta, go in front of the press, say, I suck this year. Be real with the fans. You could turn everything around in your favor. You say, I'm having a bad season. The fans could get on me the way I play. He could turn this whole thing around. He could spin it, and fans will love him again because they know, hey, at least he's speaking real to us, and people will give him a mulligan with that, and just him being demoralized. Please, come on, get in the gym, do the right thing, practice. So
D'Angelo, what if I told you what you just said was stupid?
Go ahead. I don't care. I've told
before. Nah. Most people be like, man, who Uncle Freezy think he's talking to? Why he saying what I said was stupid, man? I'm not stupid. And that's just one person, right? Imagine every time you turn on the TV and read the paper and go outside, take your son to the park. Thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people are saying that you suck. Right at a certain point, like I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like every day, people DM me and they either praise me or shoot me down. Like, hey man, the show was great except when you let such and such talk. I ain't gonna say such and such name. Right?
You want to say me?
No, not you. It ain't you. You're a fan favorite, but the thing is, you let such and such talk too long, and you let this other guy that came in from another channel talk all over the guys that you normally have, and all these criticisms, right? And I'm like, yo, it's just one show. Chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get criticism like that all the time, but this is from like 10 or 12 people, right? Can you imagine millions of people doing that to you? It doesn't matter.
I agree. I agree with you there, Freezy, but you can't tell me this year in particular that Randall didn't bring it on himself.
I never said that.
On himself.
I never said that,
Where he,
D'Angelo. As a matter of fact, I acknowledged that. I acknowledged that in the beginning.
okay, no, I know you. I'm just saying, but I'm talking about Randall in particular, not at you. I'm just saying he brought this on himself. Why everybody's
Agreed.
like at him, and he turns on the TV. Oh, he sucks.
Agreed.
You know, I mean, come on. I mean, he brought most of this crap on. He fights with the referees on a daily basis. Does all the things. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but you know, it's what he does.
Nah, I know.
That
I get that.
frustrates fans. You know, that's it. It frustrates the hell out of me, as you know.
I get that. Excuse me. I acknowledged that in the beginning. I said that Randall brought this on himself.
Yeah, no,
he deserved to be booed. He deserved to be criticized. He deserved all these things because he brought it on himself. Now, with that said, these two topics are not mutually exclusive. Just because he brought it on himself does not mean that he can't be demoralized. That's what I'm saying.
No, I got you. Okay.
The team seemed very distracted last night, even with their defense. They seemed off. Everything was off. Everything felt off. They seemed collectively distracted by the nonsense, by the rumors. And guess what? That does happen in professional sports. Rumors and people that got to answer questions about other players and their personal mess and whatnot. But it was just really sad to watch last night how distracted this team was last night, even in defensive rotations. And you saw it all over the court.
Tibbs gets a lot of blame on that too. Yeah, Tibbs gets a lot of blame on that.
Let me just interject just one thing, and I promise you I'm gonna be quiet for a while.
I'm gonna go after you first.
Yeah, do y'all remember when Randy Moss was in the car accident in Minnesota? Like Randy Moss and Chris Carter both made the Pro Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. They both made the Pro Bowl, but they had lost to the Giants. They got blew out by the Giants in the playoffs, right? That offseason, Randy Moss was in a minor car accident, right? He had a joint in an ashtray, right? The state trooper was like, "Yo, it's Randy Moss. He was in the wrong in this traffic accident, and he had marijuana." Now listen, if you smoke, you smoke. If you don't, you don't. I'm not saying be on one side. Whether you are for law enforcement or you not, I'm not saying if you're pro athlete, I'm not saying be on one side or the other. What I'm saying is the people in Minnesota flipped on Randy Moss, right? Because they had lost they had a great season. They got blown out in the playoffs. Randy Moss didn't do much. And then in the offseason, he was in a minor car accident. And that's what the press was. So it's a minor accident, nobody hurt, minimal damage. The dude had like a joint or a blunt, whatever, in the ashtray, whatever the details are. But you know what happened? The Minnesota fan base flipped on Randy Moss. Right? They were like, he's an athlete. He's supposed to be perfect. How does he smoke marijuana? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That offseason, Randy Moss gets traded. He eventually winds up playing with Tom Brady in New England, and the Vikings are rebuilding. They flipped out on Randy Moss, got rid of Randy Moss. The team went downhill. The quarterback tore his ACL, right? The team had been in the doldrums for years, right? All of like something that if reasonable minds and mature adults had just said, hey, this is just one thing. Let's see if we can work this thing out. Randy Moss would have been in Minnesota his whole career. Not saying that they would have won a Super Bowl or anything, right? But Randy Moss would have been there the whole time. And the fan base would have got to see their man for years. Now, how this applies to Randall, we know Randall had a bad season. And we know he sulked and he shot and he gave D'Angelo the middle finger. And D'Angelo was mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? That's him and D'Angelo business.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
You got
D'Angelo mad at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in this case, I'm on D'Angelo's side. I'm not on Randall's side. I'm on D'Angelo's side, right?
Crazy,
but my point is things are gonna happen in life, and we have to, as fans, understand that things are gonna happen. Players are gonna have bad seasons. Organizations are gonna take an approach, and it's not gonna work because the organization took the approach this year. And I know y'all remember this. Don't act like you don't remember. We're going to get up as many 3-pointers as we possibly can. Remember that at the beginning of the season? Maybe I'm the only one. But
No, I
then,
You're not. You're
no,
not.
you good. I remember that.
yeah, and so they were like, we're going to get up. So that is a different offense than the Knicks ran last year, right? The offense didn't work. It stalled. And then you saw ISO Randle, blah, 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 right? What we don't account for is the system change, the backcourt change. You feel me? Injury riddle season that we had, right? Randle, all-star, with no crowd, all of a sudden there's a crowd there and he's not the same. So all these things come into play, but we blame two people for it. We blame Tibbs and we blame Randle. Mostly Randle, right? What I'm saying is we have to take into account all the things that we saw. We saw Derrick Rose ankle get clicky about right before Thanksgiving. Right before Thanksgiving, and then he played like 3 weeks, trying to play 2 or 3 weeks on it. And then he had the surgery and was out until the All-Star break or right after. But you hadn't seen him since. Right? And you saw the injury to Nerlens Noel. First it was a knee, and then a hip, and then plantar fasciitis. Right? I mean, so all these things, we have to take into account all these things. And there were some positives. The rookies that we thought were ham sandwiches actually might be players. Right? But we don't look at like the big picture. We look at the polarizing person. Whoever the polarizing person is at the time, we pile on and we make it hell for that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we don't understand the mechanics and the infrastructure of how these things go. So it's easy to say it's him or it's him. So,
right.
So like, for example, right, that's an excellent segue to what I was going to get into. That, you know, one thing that has to be, I think, examined a little bit more, forget about the players, because the players just do what they're told. For the most part, especially the players on this team, because we don't have like a superstar on the team that can, you know, call out a play or they run something, but he makes something happen outside of the core play. Like, you know, like we don't really have stuff like that. So they pretty much listen. And that was evident of that against Chicago, because as you saw when Tom was calling out stuff, you know, you had guys directing guys where to go. There was nobody taking it outside of that. So then the question becomes, then you have to question the communication and the actual relationship between the coach and the front office. Because if I'm the front office and I know that Tom Thibodeau is rigid, he plays a certain defensive style, and he's not known for his offensive what do you call that? Creativity, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
Then I build a team around him, knowing where I can get the best out of him.
Right.
He may not be my choice, but if I'm stuck with it, I'm going to make the best out of the situation. And I think that's something that we haven't really got into too much. We get into it a bit, but I think we haven't gotten into enough deep dives into actually what that relationship is. And that's why we were talking about the front office. We gave them D pluses and Fs and stuff of that nature, because if you know that this guy is a defensive minded coach, and he's not a multi-dimensional defensive coach, he it's one way that he does it, and it does work. It does work. But he needs, for it to maximize and for it to come truly to fruition, you need the right personnel around him. So when you start your backcourt, for example, with Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, that's not working to his strengths. So the question has always been, is the front office have a gun to his head telling him, Tom, play this, we signed this, play it? Or is it a mutual thing? And that's something that we've never really got an answer on, because, you know, honestly, nobody's spoken about it. And so, you know, we sit here, we theorize, and we speculate about what it can be. But here's my point. My point is that when you look at the better organizations inside this league, coach and front office are in one accord. And though they might have disagreements and differences, right, they're still, the product out there is 90% of what the coach asks. Because the front office has to adhere to that. They're not the ones coaching. They're not the ones sitting with these guys every day is in practice, watching film, and go ahead and deciding what sets and what principles and stuff is going to be best for this personnel. So you have to acquiesce to the coach because that coach is the one that's coaching. So if that's not happening, I'm almost done. If it's not happening, as we see, and I think we can all agree that is not happening, and we see great organizations that does happen, then it comes out to what the truth is. This is not a good organization. So therefore equals that this is not a good basketball team. And I think, for some good advice, just hold your breath on seeing this magical turnaround happen with this, because if they couldn't get it right after the season that they had last season, what makes you think that they're going to get it right this offseason?
Hey, check this out. I got a little solution. I think everybody might like it. I think a lot of people might don't. But check this out. You say Tisney we all know he a defensive coach and he need defensive players. How about this trade? Randle for Ben Simmons. He a point guard. He could control the tempo of the game. He a defensive player. How about that? And Randle was cool with, Randle was cool with Durant too. You think that would work? And give them a draft pick with it?
I think
the Nets will love it. The Nets would love it because Randle makes less money overall than Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's Ben Simmons making, like 40 or something like that? 37? Yeah.
30. I think he's making 38. Yeah, he's making somewhere around there.
Let's look at Spot Track.
So you might have to attach Evan.
Walker. Kemba Walker too. We could check on Kemba Walker to make that money. Because Kemba Walker made like what, $9 million? Then Randle made what?
Ben Simmons is making 33. Then he makes 35.4 next year, 37.8, and then 40 after.
So Kemba and Randle for Ben Simmons.
You need more because they'll only make up 30.
Okay, 2 second draft picks.
I don't think the Nets are interested. They need Ben Simmons very badly for their perimeter defense and somebody to initiate the offense and stuff like that.
Don't they have a rookie? The Nets? His name what? What's his name? Cam or something? A rookie?
Talking about Cam Thomas?
Yeah. He'll be getting a lot of playing time.
Well, he's the one dimensional guy right now. He shoots the basketball.
I wouldn't.
He good too, though, D.
Okay. But I think the thing is that I think last night was evidence that Julius Randle's not going anywhere, and I think that was a nail in the coffin to anybody that might have assumed that he might get shipped off. I think that was a nail in the coffin. So that's why I said you're probably looking at just about the same team, especially if you look at the contracts and how they're tied up. I don't want to hear about no team-friendly contracts.
It's really not team-friendly. It really isn't team friendly. Randle's behavior and everything that he's done, good contract, 2010 and 5, has completely tanked out because of the erratic boogie cousin syndrome like behavior. And I think that's what I speak mostly to. It's not about the bad basketball, because as Knicks fans, we've dealt with bad basketball. And bad basketball on the court can be fixed. It can be fixed. And we saw it between 2019 and 2020, Randle. Bad basketball can be fixed. But what you can't fix is attitude. What you can't fix is behavior. You can't fix that. We're over here in asset management mode collecting all these picks to get this grand superstar. And now with the compensation of Julius Randle, you now got to attach an asset. You got to dig into your own supply in order to move off Julius Randle. And I don't want to make this a full Julius Randle thing, because what D Poetic is saying is absolutely true. And that's it. I mean, again, at the end of the objective day, if he's here, then he's here. I don't see the fit. I don't see how his personality and the mentality of having the 2020 season he had. I don't see him forking over control or adjusting, because listen, in professional sports, it's all about adjusting. The game changes. We even see it in football. Colin Kaepernick was a superstar in his own right until teams started defending him, and we got film on you, and now we can defend you, and now we can adjust. Julius Randle had this amazing season out of 7 out of 8 because of the circumstances around it. And now teams are like, yo, we got to double team him. That's his weakness.
Yeah.
And you know what Julius Randle says? Julius Randle goes, well, I'm going to do what I did because in 2020, I was the guy. So there's no adjustment.
Good point.
And this is why I keep saying, listen, he's a talented player. You'll be out of your mind if you think Julius Randle is not a talented player. You know how hard it is to get 20, 10, and 5? But with all the antics, every team is sitting. Listen, if you are the Los Angeles Clippers and you want to inquire about Randle, you're a playoff team. You built a culture. Why should I risk bringing this one guy into my culture to tear this all down? If I'm a young team with a young coach, like in Cleveland and Bickerstaff, why would I bring Julius Randle into my young, impressionable core? This is my problem with the Julius Randle angle and why he is the centerpiece and he has now become the most difficult piece. You can fire all the GMs. You can get a brand new coach. But if Julius Randle is still here, you still have a problem because he's not going to mentally and emotionally adjust.
Right. And this is the problem. This is the problem with the front office also because they gave him that long-term contract. They went based on one season. And I would have said, no, do it again, man. Do it again. Then you're going to get that because they could have did the extension or whatever, but not give him the full bag, which he didn't get, the 117. I know he took some off, a couple of million off, whatever it is. But do it again, Randall, because it's fool's gold.
But I'll push back on that just a little because it had to happen. I know there's a lot of quote-unquote Julius hate, and I don't look at it as quote-unquote Julius hate except a very small part of the fan base. But re-signing Julius Randle after the sort of magical, glorious season he had last year, if you were a businessman, you'd be out of your mind not to re-sign him. Sure, is there another side of the coin where you say, hey, prove it to me again? But for the business, for the marketing, for the optics, for the ticket sales, for everything, the TV deals, MSG, you had to re-sign Julius Randle. It had to be done.
He has a very, very bad personality on this team, and it's only going to affect this team in the long run while he's on the team. Because he won't change that attitude. He thinks he's a number one. He thinks he's better than he is. He thinks he's a LeBron. He thinks he's, he won 4 chips before this. No. You are not that, and he's not going to be that because he has a bad attitude on his team. It will affect other players; they're impressionable. But if they got a better IQ, which we know, I think that we got a smart young core. They just look past that. He's just going to whine again. Let him go sit over there. It seems like they did that the last game. They said, "Let him go whine in the corner. He's going to be a big baby. He's gonna fight. Let him do his thing, and we'll do our thing."
Right, let me interject a thing real quick.
Sure.
So the Randle struggle is Tom Thibodeau's fault, right? And here's why. Tibbs has never had to, in theory, and maybe in reality, coach up a great superstar player for his offense. Right? He never had to do that. You know why? Because as an assistant in Philadelphia, the best player on his team that he coached was Charles Barkley, right? When he left Philadelphia, the next job he got was in San Antonio. Guess what? He was coaching David Robinson, right? So he left San Antonio and went to, where is it? So he left San Antonio and went to Phil. I'm sorry. So he was in San Antonio first, coaching David Robinson, left there, right? And coached in Philadelphia. He came. Tibbs. Yep. He left Philadelphia, right? Barkley was gone in Philly. I don't know who was there in Philly. I don't care to even look at the roster, right? But in New York, his best players were Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell. He left the Knicks, went to Houston, where he coached, where he had his hands on Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming, right? So he left Houston, went to Boston, where he coached Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, blah, 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 right? He left Boston, took a head coaching job in Chicago, where his best player was Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
He left Chicago, went to Minnesota, where he took 2 number 1 picks, Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns, where offense was not a problem for those guys. Defense was their problem. And then he gets to New York with the same mindset. Well, I don't have to worry about offense. As long as I have the defense intact, I don't have to worry about offense. But when he gets to New York, guess who his best offensive player is? Julius
Randle.
Is Randle, Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Pat Ewing, Karl Anthony Towns? None of this. I'm not saying that Tibbs is a lazy coach, because we all know he's not. But it's all about the old saying: the part that you feed is the part that grows. Right? So if you feed in totally to your defensive philosophy, that's the part that you're going to be the best at. It's just what it is. This dude has a history of coaching or being on a coaching staff of superstar players when he didn't have to worry about offense. Ray Allen can get a bucket anytime he felt like it. Paul Pierce can get a bucket anytime he felt like it. Derrick Rose in his prime, a walk-in bucket. David Robinson, Pat Ewing, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, and Julius Randle. Now, I can sing the Sesame Street song if you want me to. One of these kids is doing his own thing. One of these kids is like the same. You know I could do that, but you guys are smart enough to understand where I'm going with this. Should Tom Thibodeau's offensive philosophy, regardless who the player, even if Randle, and I don't want to speak this into his existence, right? But say if Randle had gotten hurt and Obi was the starter, Obi Toppin's offensive struggles would have been real, just like Randle, in my opinion, or whoever the number 1 guy is. Say it was RJ. When teams start double teaming RJ Barrett, he's inefficient right now. Just imagine RJ Barrett getting double teamed every night, right? You think there would have been some offensive frustration there, some frustration with that player? Yes. What I'm saying is Randle deserves blame, but the coach has to have some kind of hand in this thing.
Of course.
Of course.
The game about 5 weeks ago live. It was like on a Friday night. I was like, "Yo, did you just see Tibbs run back motion on this pick and roll?" He was like, "Yeah." We were shocked by it because it was the first time we saw it all season. Legit 4 players moving at once in Tibbs' offense. We're just used to seeing 2 players moving at once in Tibbs' offense. You feel me? So I just wanted to throw that out there, right?
And first, when you have slow-footed starters on your team, once you play zone sometimes, man, you know what I mean? Everybody help out with defense. If you're not
Tom
playing zone,
Thibodeau will never play zone.
Ever.
yeah, that's crazy. And these guys slow-footed, like RJ, he's slow-footed. Randle, he's slow-footed. And Fournier, he's slow-footed. And that's how we be getting beat by teams, because they athletic. Because how y'all say the dude passed RJ with ease. Yeah. And imagine what they do to Fournier with ease.
Right. Hey, you know what, WC, to your point, if you go zone, right? Say you go zone, and say a team shoots the lights out. Say they shoot 40% from 3, right? You know what that means? That means 60% of the time they're missing long 3-point shots.
Because when you play zone, you right there in their face. You can put your hands up.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
But my point is if a team shoots 40% from 3, that means they miss 3-pointers 60% of the time. And long 3-point shots lead to long rebounds. That means you can actually get out in transition and run, right? But the Knicks don't do that. We're not a pace team. We're not a transition team.
That's the problem.
Right. So the environment has to be absolutely perfect for us to get out in transition and run. right? Quickly got a steal against Miami, and McBride also got a steal against Miami. 2 steals against the Heat. And when I saw it, I missed the layups because I fainted. I woke up. I was like, "Oh my God, we gotta!" It was something that I wasn't used to seeing. You know what I'm saying? So
and it was a good thing to see too when they're in transition, playing that half court.
And you know what happened? We beat the Heat.
Yeah, but like you say, Tibbs going his own ways. Every time New York Knicks do something good, they go back to their old ways. I can't stand that, man.
His philosophy is his religion. It's what he believes through and through. And this is where the onus comes back on the front office. When people show you who they are, believe them. You know this is who Tom Thibodeau is through and through. But the nepotism and this is my boy, and I gotta hook him up with a job. It's just like, bro, why don't you just get the most qualified people to do this? Look at your roster.
Yeah.
This is who you have on your roster. You need somebody who complements them just as much as you. Like, Tibbs is not a creative, innovative guy. He's not. He's never demonstrated that throughout the years. Back into that, like, there's at no point you stop and go, "Wow, Tom Thibodeau did that." Like, especially on the offensive end, his defenses have always been through the roof, and and then some. He's a defensive guru, and he doesn't even. He's not even that innovative in his defenses at all, because as G Poetic says, run some zone, but it ain't something he's gonna do because he believes what he.
Yeah, CWC said that.
I'm sorry, say that again.
CWC said that about the zone.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
He
doesn't even do anything innovative defensive. Like, he's so focused on what he believes that there's no room for creativity, and so teams can properly plan against that. So it looks really bad. It just does. There's nothing that he does that makes a coach go, "Oh man, I got to think twice."
And when you play zone, you could save the guy energy too. You could rest their legs too.
Yeah.
I just,
Imagine Evan Fournier on the top side of his zone.
I don't imagine that.
Nah, that's one off problems. I mean,
it's gonna be like a one-on-one shake and bake for the other team.
Look,
you want me to imagine Evan Fournier guarding 40 square feet by himself? Right? No, I don't want to imagine that. I don't want to. If Evan Fournier, this is your 40 square feet that you have. No.
He's gonna be on Shaq Fu.
Yeah. No, I don't want to imagine Evan Fournier on an island by himself.
But I gotta imagine that it's exhausting as Knicks fans. I mean, I just we do this. I don't want to say we specifically, but as Knicks fans, we kind of go through this, and you don't want to really beat a dead horse. We know the problems are top down. What are the solutions? We can speak about, we want to burn it down, but what are the realistic solutions? Right now, we're sitting with the 12th pick. We've got the 27th payroll. We've got 24 draft picks, which I'm terrified of, because we can mess this up. We can mess this up, really. I mean, the most beautiful way. And I'm just naturally scared. I have no idea what comes next. I don't know who's going to be on this roster. I don't know if Mitch is going to come back. It's just a ton of questions with no answers.
Yeah, it was just more bad news yesterday, knowing that story was fake, and he wants to stay. That was even better. Just typified the season.
You want to talk about dysfunction? This is the sort of thing that leads other players and other people to look at us as a joke. Because
they always laugh.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say, because everything is going to look at as speculation. If we talk about,
I'll be back if y'all still on.
Just be prepared. We're going to be dealing with this next season too. Tibbs is coming back. Randle's coming back. We're going to run it back. It's going to be the same team. That's it.
So, right, Angel, correct. So, unless you have a solution that can save the world.
Yeah, Dolan, fire everybody. Seriously, start from scratch. Fire the front office. I mean, you got it. What you've been saying with everybody. You guys have been saying it. We always been saying You gotta start with the front office and work your way down. You gotta get some smart basketball minds in there. Get a guy like you in there, get Freezy. I mean, you gotta get guys who knows what they're doing in the draft, what we're gonna do, what acquisitions that you always talk about. That's it. Be smart. And we're not the smart franchise that we have. Their solution was getting Kemba and Fournier. Would Miami make a move like that? Don't think so.
That narrative is not completely true, though, D'Angelo. I think they had their hands tied and they had no choice, and they could have done it a different way, but they still needed guys to sign because they do have to reach a minimum overall cap salary. So,
all right, got me there, but it's
So let me ask you, what specific move can we make specifically on a player's level, on a coaching level, on a front
Johnny
office
Davis,
level?
Ben Mathurin. That's easy. You're guaranteed to go to the draft anyway. You have a draft pick. You know what I'm saying? That don't require a lot of manipulation. Maybe moving up in the draft.
Are we smart enough to do that in the front office, though, Freezy? I agree with you 1,000%. But are they smart enough to do something like that? And that's what we got to wait for and get frustrated when we sit around in the draft and watch it and say, oh, they're going to trade up. They need to do this, they need to do that, and they don't do it. They get some, Joe Schmo from European League that's never going to come here.
Right.
So, but the whole question is that if we weren't able to move in the draft with Obi at 8, and we pretty much have just about the same type of assets, what makes you think we're going to be able to move up this year?
Experience.
Yeah, that requires
experience.
What was that phrase I hear?
Experience. So you didn't draft Tyrese Halliburton in that Obi draft.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what happened to a player of need when you didn't draft him. He went somewhere else, and then that player was available, and you still couldn't get him. Now instead of making the pick as a luxury pick, you make the pick as a need pick. We need a franchise player, right? So now the front office has experience. They know that they can't make the same blunder again, because it's not just the Knicks' future at stake; their jobs are at stake, right? Because if they blunder another draft, if they come out of the draft getting laughed at like they did this year. And I'm not saying that McBride and Grimes and all them dudes are not good players. I'm talking about how they acquired those players is where we got laughed at.
Yeah.
You trade back to save money to give the money to Taj Gibson. What? So this year, instead of being in a position to draft Tata Washington or Tari Eason, I think they take the assets that they have on those expiring deals, whether it's Burks or Noel or Rose or whoever, and move up in the draft to get the guy, because they know this draft is not deep, right? Once you get past
4,
9,
5.
Well, I would say 9, because I think Ben Mathurin, Keegan Murray, Johnny Davis, all those guys are good players, right?
So
will they be mega stars? I'm sorry?
No, I'm sorry. I was asking, you think there are 9 players in this draft that are an absolute hit?
No.
I don't. I'm at maybe 4 or 5.
You said 9 players that are absolute what?
Hit.
No,
like a hit. Like
an absolute hit. How many players in this draft do you think are an absolute hit?
Describe what hit is.
Impact players that can come in.
Yeah, franchise changer.
Yeah, that can change or build the organization. Right.
I think the top of the draft board is weak all the way down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Banchero. Right.
He's had an excellent tournament.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The Ivy kid.
Ivy can't read the game.
Yeah. And he's a telegraph. And I know I said this before, and it sounds nerdy, but he's a telegraph passer already in trying to play a position that he's unfamiliar with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He reminds me of Michael Vick. Is Michael Vick a franchise quarterback? A rookie Michael Vick, is that a franchise quarterback? It depends on what you like. I say no. Right? So, and I'm talking about with all the flash and dash of a Michael Vick, right?
Yeah,
all the flash, the speed, the athleticism, all that stuff. Is he is Jaden Ivey a franchise point guard? No. That's so yeah. So
if cultivated correctly, sure, because he does have certain he does have generational type of athleticism, bro. Like, so it's a matter of how he's matriculated and nurtured. But there's very few teams in the NBA that really do that at a high level. So
develops point guards. Who do you trust to develop a point guard? What franchise? Do you trust the Knicks to develop a point guard?
F no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. That was my point to it.
Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, Crazy, I gotta go, yo. I gotta take this call. Take care, yo.
I'm gonna get out of here too, y'all.
Okay, yo.
I'm just sleepy.
All right. All right. Have a great day, yo.
All right.
So I got a question for you, Uncle Feezy, before you go and take a nap, because it's a long day, and I heard earlier that you were on 42 minutes of sleep. You just out here, yeah.
Vibes takes a lot out of your vibe.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Listen, shout out and salute Uncle Freezy for doing this. This is not easy.
God.
If it was, everybody would do it. Hit the like, subscribe. So I absolutely just want to sing Uncle Freezy's praises, and especially giving me the opportunity to come on and speak with y'all. Listen, not everything we're going to agree on. Not everything we're not a monolith as a fan base. We're not going to agree on everything. But I absolutely respect the perspectives and the insights that you guys provide. Yes, even in the chat, whatnot, for even those that say I'm bugging, that's totally fine. I got no beef with that. Uncle Freezy, I got a question for you. Are you absolutely 100% convinced that we are going to commit to drafting a player with the 12th pick that we currently have right now? Are you convinced that we're going to commit to actually drafting somebody, or packaging these picks and going out and getting an impact player at the point guard position?
We're going to draft a player.
Okay.
And so here's why. Free agents are not lining up to come here. We have to build this team like a small market team and be patient.
Yep.
You see,
where does that leave Tibbs? Oh, sorry.
Well, hear me out on it. Sure. You already have a beef with Randle, right? The quick fix guy. We brought Randle in here at his age to be the quick fix. Don't bring him in at the preschool age. Bring him in at the middle school age, and hopefully by the time he get to high school, he'll be something. Maybe he'll go to college, right? Nah, that ain't gonna work. It never works for the Knicks, because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen Mario Hezonja, Emmanuel Mudiay. I've seen Henry Ellenson, bro. I've seen Quincy Acey, Cole Aldridge, Kevin Seraphin. I've already been through. With D'Angelo. What's the dude with the ponytail? Remember the dude with the ponytail that always like, huh?
Was it Lou I don't know how to
Lou Amundsen. Yeah. Come on, man. At some point you gotta stop. At some point you gotta stop gambling with house money, right? At some point, stop gambling with your own money and just take your time and just take your time and do it right. Right? That's all.
And you gotta listen. Also, you gotta part ways with. I'm sorry. No, I don't mean to interrupt, but real quick, you got to, after this season, you got to part ways with Tibbs's famous old guy sitting on the. You got to figure. Make him a coach. Gibson, get rid of Rhodes. Get rid of. You're gonna have to clean. You got to clean house in that way. You got to start parting ways with these guys.
Right.
And you do this. You got to. Rose didn't give much this year. Noel didn't give that. You got to part ways with these guys. Yep. Go with the younger guys, build in the draft. That's what you got to do. I'm patient to wait if they're doing something and we see the direction in that. We go in that
as
direction.
long as you let us know.
That's it. That's all I'm asking for. You got to see me in NBA 2K, man. The first time I play in the game, boom. Tibbs is it's how it says fire cordially. I said goodbye.
Gone. Goodbye. I don't care. I don't care if Tibbs is mad.
Yeah. I don't want to see Rose back next year. I don't want to see Gibson back next year. You got to get rid of these guys. You got to get rid of. You got to part ways. Sorry, Tibbs. We did what you wanted this year. We did it the previously. We brought Rose. No, it's time to go. I'm sorry, Rose. Love you. You're a great person. To see your kid playing on the court. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. This is business. Okay, this is business. It's not personal. You remember that quote in the movie? Business, not personal. I'll see you around. We'll have a cup of coffee someday. This is business now. Yeah. I'm tired of losing. We're all tired of losing. This is why all the hard work you do on this network that CP can't shine you shit, my friend. So there you go.
We try. It's because we bring D'Angelo's on. Not for real. This is as serious as it can get. The reason why we are different and special is because we bring Knicks fans on and we chop it up. And we don't always agree, but it's all out of love. Like you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we listen, like for instance, I already know when certain people come on, I think I understand what I'm gonna hear. Right? I think I'm gonna understand what I'm gonna hear, right? And it's not because of pounding the table. It is, sometimes it's pounding the table. I ain't gonna lie. I just told a lie right there. Sometimes it's pounding the table. But for the most part though, is people have a certain perspective and lens that they look through, right? And their points come from that perspective and lens that they look through. Like with me and Randle, the reason y'all understand the reason why I stick up for Randle is because before Randle, cats used to come here and steal money and they do nothing. Milk stuff. It'd be out. Like dudes will legit be out 4 months with a hamstring pull. Like, how you out 4 months with a hamstring pull, man?
That's right.
Legit 4 months. What kind of hamstring was it? Did you tear it off the bone? I mean, what? You know what I'm saying? And so you've seen it do like dudes legit come hit Ray Felton. Got here, Ray Felton. I think they had him listed at 6'2", 185. By the time Ray Felton left, he was like 6'2", 225, 230. Right? You remember Baron Davis? Baron Davis got here at 240.
Yeah.
Baron Davis was like 6'2", 240, had to play his way back into shape. And you like, these dudes be still. Jason Kidd was so washed up the year he was here.
Oh,
you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Mike Bibby. Cats don't even talk about Mike Bibby as a Knick.
Mike Bibby. Jesus Lord.
What's the other guy? Oh, Vin Baker. Did we get Vin Baker?
Oh God. So when you see Randle come here, shoulder the load and then make the All-Star team, you're like, okay, this dude is actually trying to do something with these James Dolan checks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I kind of like hanging there for Randle. Like, you
have a soft spot for him.
Yeah, because before Shandon Anderson, I mean, come on, man,
with his shins.
Oh, yo, and what's Chris Duhon?
Oh,
Duhon.
Chris Duhon gave you the elite game every 2 months.
Yeah,
right? Like Chris Duhon would legit hit 8 3-pointers in a game, and then 2 months later have 27 assists in a game.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Why can't I get half of this every night?
Right.
Jared Jeffries.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah, man. So it's yeah. So
I got you.
Yeah, that's the thing with me and Randle, man, is that Randle actually did something while he was here in taking the Dolan. Anyway, let me go get some sleep, man. I will holler at y'all tomorrow. KMD, I'm gonna try to have it be on time at like 9:15.
Yeah, right. Sure, you'll be on.
I know. But then Chuck started talking about girls and music.
You guys are great, dude. You guys are great. I love those stories. I interject there now and then, but those stories, I love them. I love them.
Man, the Dewey and Babe. People think I made up the Lil Dewey and Big Dewey. That's real.
That's real.
Yeah, that's real. Big Dewey done passed away, man. Lil Dewey, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, it's great.
You know,
great stuff.
Man. That stuff. It's like
you gotta go more into the movies. You're going into the movies today. That was fun. That was good.
Yeah, man. We gotta do the movies thing, man.
That was good.
Like how does a movie compel you? Like,
yeah.
these movies, what are these characters really thinking? Like, how are they really feeling? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, like for instance, I want to get into Rambo, the first First Blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did nobody reach out to this dude knowing he was struggling mentally like that?
Yeah, that's right. The common sense factor. Yeah.
Yeah. People did not see the warning signs yet?
It was a total head case.
But he gave you the heads up.
Let me go,
I
man.
appreciate it, Breezy. Right. Great job, too, man.
All right, y'all.
Yo, D'Angelo, thank you so
God
much,
bless
man.
you.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.